Oh, happy Wednesday, everybody. It is live at 5. Welcome. Today we have space clearing, creating a positive environment with crystals. So today we're just going to be going through every single room in your house and what crystals would be a nice little addition to that energetically. This is a way of bringing in the energy that you want into your home, whether that be happiness or calm or abundance, whatever it is that you're looking for. So why do we use crystals? Let's get started. We use crystals to focus our intention. We use crystals because if you think about them scientifically, everything vibrates on a certain frequency. And so crystals do the same thing. They're not just different colors and different shapes and stuff like that just to look pretty. They're there because they're vibrating on a different frequency from each other so that it can bring in or repel or do all of these different energetic things for you. So they are extremely powerful, whether you're into woo-woo or whether you're into more of the scientific stuff, like your computer, your watches, they're all made out of quartz, right? So crystals have very much, for everyone can agree, are very, very powerful. And of course having them in your home can help with like color therapy stuff and stuff like that. Not just the energy of it, but the colors and the prettiness of it can lift us up, can make us feel things emotionally and spiritually, and they can really help us because of the therapy that they can give us, whether that's like I said, to look pretty, or the color therapy of having a certain color in your house can lift your mood, things like that. It can also like clear any negative energy that's maybe brought in by you. Maybe you had a bad day, or a guest has had a bad day and they come in with that energy. It can help clear and push that energy out for you as well. There are so many reasons to have crystals in your home. They do get addicted, so if you don't want a house full of crystals, maybe don't buy any because you're just going to want to give them all a home, and yeah, you're just gonna keep collecting them. So forewarning, don't blame me if your house is suddenly full of crystals. I did do some other crystal videos live at 5. I did one on March the 26th, which is called A Brief Introduction to Crystals, Understanding the Basics. Obviously, if you want to know some basics about crystals before watching this one. And April the 17th, Crystal Starter Kit, a beginner's guide to your first crystals. So that's where I go through the best ones to get if you just want to start out. If you want ones that are very generic and do a lot of different things, you can go to that video and have a little look there. I think we've covered all of that. That's all good. So today I'm going to go through very briefly, hopefully, the different rooms in the house, and I'm going to suggest some crystals for them. They are by no means the only ones that you can use. It's just, we'll go on forever. Even if I just do one room today, we'll go on forever talking about the different crystals, the different shapes you could use, the different ways you could use them. So I'm literally just going to mention 25 of them. Some are just going to be mentioned once, some are going to be mentioned multiple times. This is just to give you an idea, but by all means, if you want to, say, do your living room up, research it or contact me and I can give you a bit more details on what would be good for your living room, for example. If you just want like 5 to 7 or less, the best ones to get would be amethyst, clear quartz, rose quartz. Those are like your super 3. And then any black crystal. Usually people will get black obsidian or black tourmaline, something like that. That would be a good one to get. And then selenite is a great one to get as well. I would also say maybe get something orange or something yellow. Usually people would get citrine for the yellow and carnelian for the orange, but really just anything that you're attracted to. You don't really need to get that, but it kind of brings in the joy and the sunshine a little bit. And then shungite would be one that I really strongly recommend, especially if you've got a lot of EMT stuff around, whether you've got the towers outside near your house or you've just got a lot of Wi-Fi and microwaves and things like that in your house. It can just kind of help protect everybody from all those emissions and stuff like that. So those are the ones that I would say, even if you take nothing else from this, have a little look into those kind of crystals that I just mentioned. At the end of the day, clear quartz or selenite, and maybe any black crystal would be your best bet if you just want 3. Anyway, let's have a little look. We're going to do the home today, just because hopefully everybody's got some kind of home. But you can adapt this to your workplace or you know, any kind of environment that you have, even a holiday home, like a cottage or something, or your trailer, camper van, whatever, whoever my audience is right now, if you're English or American or Canadian. Yeah. So let's start with the entryway, because obviously this is the entrance to your home. This is something where you want to immediately have good vibes coming in, right? So for that, you can't go wrong with clear quartz. Clear quartz is the master healer. Pretty much it does everything. So this is going to be something that's going to bring in, like really amplify the energy in your hallway. It's going to bring in the light. It's going to bring in the, just all the good stuff is going to come in, and it's also going to cleanse any of the bad stuff going on. What I do say to people as well, if you can get some selenite and if you can get some black tourmaline, you can put them above or around your door. The selenite, the white one, is going to cleanse your aura and the people coming in through your door straight away. So it's literally leaving your baggage at the door. If you've had a bad day or you bumped into someone, you know, in the street and they were rude or something, immediately as you come in, you pass under the selenite and it just takes away all of that. It just cleanses you and it allows you to leave all the crap at the door and just go in and just feel, oh, I'm home. Likewise, the black one would be absorbing any negativity that you knowingly or unknowingly picked up during the day or outside, and then it takes that away. So again, these two, the black and white ones, are very, very good to just take away all that rubbish as you're going in. Amethyst is another one that you should have anyway. Amethyst is going to be that welcoming one that's going to make everyone feel less stressed and very, very comfortable in your house as soon as they step in. So then we go into like the living room or the family room. You're going to want, again, like the amethyst, the purple one, to bring the calmness into that room, to bring in that unwinding kind of feeling for everybody. And the clear quartz as well, that see-through one, again, that amplifies the energy for everybody as well. You might also want to have something like a rose quartz, the pretty pink one. That's going to bring in the love. And if you share your house with somebody, you know, even if you don't love them because they're just your roommate or whatever, it's just going to give you that feeling of comfort with people and that heartfelt, you know, security with the people. And if you're there with your family, it's going to amplify that love that you have for your family. Nice one to have in the living room or family room would maybe be pyrite. Pyrite is fool's gold, pretty much. This one's going to bring in abundance and things for you. And if you think about it, a lot of people will do maybe their work and stuff in the family room or the living room. So again, that's attracting the money to you or the abundance in general to you. Carnelian and citrine. So carnelian is the orange one, citrine is the yellow one. These are bringing in the sunshine for you. These are bringing in the joy for you. These are bringing in that happiness, that playfulness within the living room or the family room for you. Dining room is kind of similar because it's kind of the focal point of where you're going to be hopefully talking with the other members of your household, having heartfelt conversations or political debates, or just, how was your day kind of discussions. So again, you're going to maybe want the citrine to bring happiness to the table, to your food. Maybe the clear quartz just to amplify or to cleanse any of the energies that you have around, and rose quartz for, that heartfelt conversation, that really like, how was your day? I want to know how your day was. You could also bring in some green aventurine. Obviously it's green. And this can really help sort of a healthy eating habits, sort of like a healthy lifestyle. It can cleanse the food. It can make you want to eat your vegetables. Maybe it's a good one for the children. It promotes that clean, healthy lifestyle and that knowing what you're putting in your body food-wise. Talking of food, let's talk about the kitchen. The kitchen, again, as you can see, there's lots of crossovers, and I've done that on purpose so that you're not overwhelmed with 100 different names for crystals, and also because they do overlap as well. So it's kind of nice just to get a certain couple of them for all the rooms in your home, and then you can just put them out in whatever way that you want to do, and we'll cover how to do that hopefully nearer the end of this. So again, the citrine, that can help you find the happiness of making the meal. So if you've got that in your kitchen, it will make the preparing of the meal enjoyable. And the rose quartz, again, will be about putting intention and love and stuff into your food, like doing it to provide. Even if you just live alone, it's that self-love of putting in love for yourself so that you can ingest the self-love through, I'm taking time now to prepare this food for myself because I love myself, and then that food absorbs into the body and you feel it's like a self-love ritual. Again, you can use the green aventurine for the similar reason why you'd have it in the dining room, for that healthy food, that healthy mindset, being really understanding of what it is that you're making. And if you can make from scratch, even better. It encourages that kind of, let's make bread tonight rather than just buying it or whatever it is, that kind of stuff. The black tourmaline, or any black crystal really, that will take away any negativity, especially if you're buying food from the grocery store or something where hundreds of people have touched it during its time going to and from the factory or wherever it's made to the grocery store and then to your house. Like, it's exchanged hands so many times, and people have energy, right? And that can get absorbed into the food. So just having something like the black tourmaline, even something like a smoky quartz, which is a quartz crystal, but it looks smoky, so it's a grey colour. They can take away any of the negativity that maybe happen, especially if it's something like meat or something like that. It can take away some of the trauma and things, like, not to get too detailed, but like the trauma of the animal losing its life. So it can just take away the negativity from the food in whichever way that showed up. Carnelian's a really good one as well. Same reason that we're going in the citrine, it's to bring that joy back into the cooking, the excitement and the enjoyment of the cooking. So bedrooms are so important, as we know. Selenite, the white one's great one, just have like by your bedside. You can even just like run it over your body just before you go to bed. You don't need to cleanse selenite either. So this one's a really good one to have, because we're going to talk a little bit about cleansing at the end, but you don't need to get rid of any negativity that it absorbs, so it just does it itself. So this one's a really good one if you're kind of lazy as well and you don't want to do any work. Moonstone is a good one to have because it helps with the restful sleep and emotional you know, like when you're going to go off to sleep and suddenly you think of an argument that you had 10 years ago, or something silly that you said at school, or something like that, and it just comes up, and you know, it can just get rid of all of those kind of mental negativities that come in just as you're drifting off to sleep. Soda light is a nice one to have in the bedroom because it can bring harmony, it can bring peace. Really, really nice for, again, for your emotions, just to help you balance and settle down for the night. Likewise, howlight's a good one as well for that, because it can get rid of like anxiety and stuff. So if you're quite anxious, especially if like bedtime is when you think about all the bad stuff, maybe something like the howlight will help you, you know, ease that and eventually stop doing that at night time. Lepidolite, yeah, that would be for emotional balance too. And then of course you have the lapis, which would really help with like a deep sleep and maybe some really cool dreams as well. So that's a good one. If you share a bedroom with your partner, your romantic partner, obviously something like a rose quartz to bring in the love into the bedroom, that would be a really, really nice one to bring in to a couple's bedroom. Children's bedrooms, I always tell children to have some amethyst, a lovely purple one. You can get it looking however you want. You can get different shapes and things, so get your child to go and pick out a crystal that they really think is pretty, but make sure it's like the amethyst one. But maybe it's a pretty shape, maybe it's a heart, or it's a dinosaur, or whatever. You can actually get shapes of animals and things, so whichever one calls to the child, and just get them to have that by their bedside. And then it's really, really good for nightmares and night terrors. So especially when you tell the child that this amethyst crystal is going to help them with their nightmares, then that kind of has that psychological effect on them as well. So whether you believe in the crystals or not, telling the child that this is like a talisman for them to help them have a good night's sleep will already start to tell the child that they're going to have a good night's sleep, and they probably will. And yeah, the crystal works. The amethyst truly does work. I used to work in a crystal store. I used to tell children and their parents all the time, and they would constantly come back and tell me what wonderful night's sleeps they were having. So it really does work. Guest bedrooms as well, because they're quite neglected, because they're not slept in quite as much, they're not even visited very much. And then obviously you have different people sleeping in there at different times. So just having something that's cleansing, perhaps the clear quartz in there would be all you need, or you could use like the selenite or any of the black crystals just to cleanse it and make sure that it's fresh and welcoming and stuff like that, and it feels like a light energy in there for them. Moving on to the bathroom. Now, the selenite is a good one for cleansing the aura and getting rid of all the negativity, as we've spoken about already. However, just forewarning that it doesn't really like water. So if you've got it in your bathroom, whether or not it's actually going in the shower or the tub with you, it's might not really like the condensation in the bathroom. You can still have it in there, especially if it's one that you're not too attached to, so if anything does happen to it, you're not too upset if it breaks. But just forewarning that this one just doesn't like water. Perhaps have it on the bathroom door, like the entranceway door or the front door. Have it on the outside of the bathroom above the door, and that way when you're going in and out of the bathroom, it's cleansing your aura as well as you're going in there to wash your hands or your body, right? Really nice ones for this would be aquamarine, which can be tranquility and cleansing. Of course, the beautiful rose quartz for that self-love, for that self-care, for that knowing that you are taking care of yourself. You're having a relaxing bubble bath with candles or soft music and stuff like that, or you're brushing your teeth, you're smiling at yourself in the mirror, you're doing your affirmations in the mirror in the morning, and you've got your rose quartz there to remind you that, you know, you are worthy of being looked after. It's not just to go in and use the toilet and then you're out. You're actually going to take time to care for yourself, to make yourself feel good on the inside and the outside. Again, clear quartz is going to be in a lot of the rooms, if not all of them anyway. So that one's really good for amplifying that energy and cleansing the energy in the room. Howlite as well, that anxiety one, that's a good one for being able to just relax in your bathroom, because it usually has a lock on the door, right? So you can kind of just lock the door and you're alone, and you can just exhale, you can let your belly hang out, you can, you know, be vulnerable in the bathroom, right? So the howlite in there can encourage that feeling of safety and the calmness. If you work from home or you have a study, so if you have a dedicated room for this, awesome. If you just have like an area of the living room or the dining room or the bedroom or whatever it is, make a little area for your work or for your studying or whatever it is, right? This could be things like fluorite. That's a really, really pretty one. You can have the purple one or the green one or the mixture like the rainbow one, whichever one you want, but that's really good for your mental clarity and things like that. The tiger eye, that looked really cool. The tiger eye is really, really good for your motivation. It can really motivate you to study or to work hard and to get everything done. So that's a really good one. You can get citrine and pyrite, and I'm going to show you with my pretty tree. And you can, it's actually on the pyrite anyway, but I have this one with it as well. So the tree is made of citrine, the yellow one, the joy one, and the pyrite. And I have a friend who, when we first met, was actually when I worked in like a metaphysical store, and I actually told her about putting these two stones together for the office, and that creates abundance. It really attracts, especially like wealth abundance, into your office space. And I think about a year after, she said, "I've never forgotten that you said that to me." So I ended up buying this for her as well, like not this, but a similar one for her office, because that's the first thing I ever said to her apparently, and she always remembered it. So that's a really, really good one to have in your office. You don't have to have a tree or anything. You can just have the two stones together, or you can have them in shapes, whatever you want, but just have them close by, and they're really, really good together for bringing in that oomph of an abundance. Black obsidian is very good for negativity and distractions, right? Who doesn't have distractions? So black obsidian, really, really good one for that. So it's really, really good for productivity in your work. Also shungite, oh, wrong one, shungite. You can have shungite for the EMF stuff, like I said before. So especially in your office, you've probably or possibly got your internet router there or something like that, or even just like having the keyboard and the computer and the phone and all of that around you. It can just kind of protect you from all of that bombardment of like the frequencies coming in. So very quickly, I'm just going to talk about some less common areas. So things like the mudroom, you would want something like the black tourmaline or something, again, because people are coming in from outside with the mudroom. Smoky quartz, same kind of thing with absorbing the negativity, because it's where you're washing as well, like you're washing the boots and stuff like that. So just getting rid of all the gunk. Carnelian and clear quartz, it kind of, carnelian's going to invigorate the space. It's going to make it less dark. It's going to sort of be that extra welcome room into your house. So you're really going to want to brighten it up perhaps with that. Amazonite would be a really good one to have for like the harmony and the balance of the mudroom, especially if you use it as that second entrance. It's like a welcoming in of family and friends, neighbors, whoever it is. And of course the clear quartz again for amplifying that energy and bringing in that fresh atmosphere. Your basement is probably quite dark. So bringing in the rose quartz love energy, bringing in the cleansing energy of the selenite and the negativity absorber of the black tourmaline. Even hematite. Hematite would be a really nice one for getting rid of all the gunk, because the basement possibly a place that you're not in very often, unless it's like an extra floor in your house. But if it's just a storage kind of place, it's quite a dark, forgotten place. So just letting that energy move around a bit more, and possibly there's things in boxes that you've forgotten about that hold some negative attachments. So these darker stones can really help take out any of the gunk. Laundry room, if you have a separate laundry room, things like sodalite can really calm you down if you're like, because it's household chore, right? Not many people enjoy doing laundry, so sodalite can bring the stress out of, or the boredom, or calm your mind, or whatever it is with the laundry chore. Clear quartz and amethyst again for the cleansing and the relaxing, the stress relief again, and the black tourmaline to get rid of the gunk on the clothes, because again, if you're outside in your clothes, they can absorb your emotions as well as the outside world stuff, so it just kind of gets rid of all the yucky energy there. Then if you have a garden, either the front or the back garden, or you have a balcony, if you don't have any of those, or even just inside plants or anything like that, green aventurine I always used to put with my plants because it helps them grow. It's also known as like the lucky stone as well. So if you've got things like money trees or like plants that are meant to bring in abundance and stuff, it's like a nice one to have with that. And again, you could put like the citrine and the pyrite in and around those kind of trees too. Carnelian to make the plants happy, make the garden happy. Rose quartz for the love of your garden, especially if you grow stuff that you're going to be eating, or you're growing stuff because it's pretty. It brings like that love and appreciation for that beauty and for the sustenance perhaps that you're going to get from that. And of course, again, clear quartz to amplify it all and make it all lovely. Lastly, let's quickly talk about the garage. Again, it's like the basement. It's one that we kind of use, but we don't really think about. So tiger's eye would be very, very good for sort of the security and the protection of the vehicles or the things that are stored in your garage. Hematite for just kind of like the tools and the equipment perhaps, just making sure that those are charged up, ready for you to use. Black obsidian again, because your car or you are coming in and out of your garage, and you want to get rid of any negativity that's attached to you or your car. Clear quartz for the same thing, and citrine for just bringing the happiness into the garage, to not just seeing that thing that you have to do, like chore you need to do, like the reminder of that, like, but oh yeah, I've got to do that, and I'm going to do that because I feel happy to do that. Citrine brings that sunshine in, right? So very, very quickly to cleanse the crystals. As I said, with this selenite, it doesn't like water, and there's others that don't like water as well. So just make sure that you're not doing the ones that don't like water in water all the time. If you do it once or twice, usually that's not too bad, but if you're doing it all the time and on a regular basis, it's not going to be good for them. Likewise, you can do with the sun. You can leave them outside on a sunny window or outside in your backyard or something. But again, some don't like that. Some, they lose their color with sunlight. So again, look up the care for your crystals. Oh, and also to say with the water, it could just be like just putting it under a running tap. It doesn't have to be anything special. You can do moonlight. Lots of people leave it out under the full moon. You can use salt. I don't really like using salt, but you can use salt because it absorbs the negativity. You can use smudging, any kind of smudging, whether it's incense or sage or whatever you use to smudge, or even like a room spray kind of thing. If you do Reiki, you can also use your Reiki to cleanse your crystals. The best one though is this lovely selenite. All you need to do is get a piece of selenite, a wand of selenite. There's even charging plates of selenite, and you just put your crystals on the selenite or near the selenite, and the selenite will just absorb all the stuff and cleanse it, and you're all good. You can then charge it with your intention, just like when you're putting something in the room. So you're putting your pretty tree with your pyrite, and you just have the intention that this is in my office, it's going to attract so much abundance to me for my work, for my business. And when you put them there, then they know their job. It's telling them what their job is. I can do a video in the future about cleansing and charging if you wish. Also, you could use crystal grids. Again, I could probably do a video about that in the future as well, but a crystal grid is a nice one to do, especially in, say, the bedroom or the living room or something. Would be a nice place to do a grid. You could literally just put them in a bowl. There's people that put them in the bowls in the crystal in the kitchen. They can put them in the bowl, and it's just, you know, just different ways of arranging them. And there's so many different shapes and things that you could use. They also mean stuff, but we can't go into that today. But yeah, so that's pretty much, I know that was a lot, but that's pretty much the household. Again, that's a very, very small amount of crystals for that. There are so many more that you could use. That was just a nice little introduction for you guys. Definitely look into it more. I would like to do a quick shout out to my friend Anya. She is what's called a house coach. She is the only one in the world, and she actually goes into people's houses and she helps with the energy. She shows you how to arrange your furniture, or she uses crystals and smudging and feathers and, you know, just energy work in general, and she teaches you how to form a relationship with your house and really make it your home. Again, she could do it with office space or workspace or whatever it is. She can do it with any environment. So yeah, so she's absolutely amazing. I do highly recommend her. She is based in Toronto, Canada. So if you are around there, she would be a great person to have in your home or your workspace or whatever to change the energy, whether that's negative energy or you just want to bring in more love or abundance, or, you know, you're just stuck with what to do with your house, or you don't have a relationship with your house and you want to see how that can change your outlook on life and things coming to you. If you don't live in Toronto and or Canada, she does do a lot of online stuff. You can do consultations with her online. You could also take some of her workshops or classes and stuff that she does on a regular basis. So please do check her out. I will put in the replay her details, but if you're on Instagram or Facebook, it is at Anya House Coach. I will put that in the thing down below. Or Anya.housecoach, sorry. And her website is www.anyahousecoach.com, and that's ANJA, Anya. So absolutely check her out. Thank you so much for listening to today's live at 5. They are getting longer, but it's not as long as last week. And next week we are doing the understanding of the third eye chakra. So it is episode 7 of our chakra series. It's actually our first double month episode because it's been 4 weeks and we have 5 weeks in July. So I will be in purple next week, doing understanding the third eye chakra, activating your mind's eye, which is right here. So please join me next week for that. I have all the other episodes up if you would like to take a look before we do the third eye next week. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day and week, everybody, and I will see you soon.